everyone, how's it going? I am Louis the Average Guy 1983, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a range test in Gear 2 on the InMotion RS Midnight. I wasn't originally going to do this because, again, I'm no longer affiliated with Vora Motors or, technically speaking, InMotion. Realistically, from a content creator standpoint of view, I don't really have a reason to do this, but there's a guy in the comments section. They got a little upset with me because I haven't done any InMotion RS videos. So I figured, since he didn't respond back to my comment about what exactly was it that he wanted me to do, I figured I would just go ahead and try to do a range test in Gear 2 since I never actually did one officially. I've only done one in Gear 1 going up to 19 miles an hour, and I got 60 miles of range going basically 19 miles an hour till I got the battery down to 10%. So I'm going to guess that I'm going to get roughly 30 miles of range, give or take, taking it up to 40 miles an hour. And what I will keep doing for you guys is updating you guys on the temperature of the controllers or motors, also the acceleration, how well it does. I have it right now set to 40%, and that is because several months ago InMotion did an update on the app, which required to do an update on the controllers as well as the central controller and the display. And for some reason, the acceleration slowed down significantly at takeoff, but it still gets you to your top speed. So it's not going to be as quick. In a way, it's kind of a good thing because that just means that it's not going to waste as much battery having a slower takeoff and then increasing the speed. So that's a plus in a way. Some people may not like that because they like that neck snapping acceleration that the RS normally gives, but I'm okay with it, especially because I use it for work. This is my commute to work scooter, so that's the reason why I haven't been doing any content on it as well. I'm just enjoying it. I do have the front and rear tires set to 50 psi, and you guys can see right here just how much I've been able to carve on the turns. I've gotten up to this point right here on the turning, which is about 10 to 15 degrees of a tilt to the left or to the right while I make a sharp turn, with slightly turning the handlebar either to the left or right to make a sharper turn without falling off, versus the stock tires. So these ones are like PMT tires. They're also like the same kind of tires that are on the Segway GT1 and GT2, which again, the GT series has some really nice carving. Even on the new GT3 and the GT3 Pro, they have the same tires, which are really nice. These are self-healing, and they've been doing very good since I installed them. So with that said, my friends, I do have 100% battery life. I have the acceleration set to 40%. So braking force is set to 0 because I don't want to have any problems with any kind of wire melting or anything like that. Ever since I turned off that feature, I haven't had any problems with the wire melting together from the motor and controller. Everything's been working. If I have to service the wheel for any reason, I'm able to easily disconnect the cable without any problems now that I turned off that feature, and I recommend that you guys do it too. I'd rather waste the brake pad faster than to waste or damage the cable and needing to replace the cable and motor at the same time, because that's way more costly than a pair of $50 or $13 brake pads. I'm gonna go ahead and finish gearing up. I do have protection here, and I do have a sweater. I got the knee pads and everything. We're ready to go. I just got to put on the helmet, turn the camera on, and switch it on over. And hopefully the GPS tracking works. I'll do everything I can to show you guys GPS tracking as much as possible so you guys can see the speed limit. But Gear 2 does top out at 39 miles per hour. It gives you small peaks of 40 to 42 miles an hour, but then it drops right back down to 39 and it stays there. So at least we know that we get 39 miles an hour of speed limit, technically speaking, realistically. So let's go ahead and get going. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take off. We got right now 73 degrees Fahrenheit on the drive board temperature, 79 degrees Fahrenheit on the front motor temperature, and 77 degrees on the rear motor temperature. I'm not sure how accurate that is because right now it's in the low 60s temperature wise, but I figured, okay, screw it, let's go ahead and go and see how things work out. So I am thinking that I'm going to get roughly 30 miles of range. Could be wrong, but I could end up getting more or I could end up getting less. I'm still 288 pounds, so I haven't gone up in weight, but I also haven't gone down in weight, so that's good and bad. You see here, okay. And this guy right here. Alrighty. Wait for this other car to go through here. Yeah, I kind of knew it. Go on. Here we go. And because I am in gear 2, I can ride with the flow of traffic. So, here we go. Had to adjust the camera to make sure that you guys get to see what I'm seeing. So it does say that we're entering South Pasadena. And it's actually 68 degrees Fahrenheit right now in California. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I do have my dash cam on, which is the Chigee AI05 Lite. And I have my battery pack for my fog lights and rear lights on, that's separate from the main scooter's lighting, that's also on because it's connected to the car grade horn. On that beep sound is just a warning telling me that there was a car on my blind spot. That's one thing that I love about the Chigee AI05, that it has that feature. I love Fiend. Huh, interesting. Okay, in this case, I'm going to have to scoot over to the left lane because we're going to go straight. I always like to go a specific path, even if it's through streets, because that's how I mainly do all of my range test videos. And it definitely feels like I'm going against the wind, man. I can feel some like tension on like my body, like against the wind, where it's pushing me back. Now every county here in California is different when it comes to PEVs, which stands for personal electric vehicles. This includes electric scooters, e-bikes, one-wheels, unicycles, and boosted boards. And we're required to follow the rules of the road just like a car. And if there's usually two lanes like you see right here, we're supposed to be on the right lane, but if the right lane is turning, like making a right, like this street right here, but you need to go straight, then you have to stay in the lane that's going to take you to your destination. Man, there's a lot of fractures on this road. They still haven't been fully patched up. Okay, we're gonna get ready to turn here. Oh yeah, and Pasadena uses those fancy Teslas. They got the money for it. Just look at the difference here. See all of this? Beautiful road compared to Highland Park. You can tell where all those ticket monies are going. Okay, we're good. Go on, sir. Which way are you going? Okay, so you're making a fucking idiot. Yeah, stupid dumbass. Yeah, you get a lot of people like that too. Guys laughing because he chose not to use a turn signal. And I waited there for him to get across. He did it on purpose. What an asshole. But see, that's the kind of, people you deal with. And this is why it's important to have things like dash cams or a good camera, like maybe Insta360 with like the X3, X4, X5, maybe at the top of your helmet, very well secured so it can record in front of you and behind you. This way, if you need to zoom in on something, you can zoom in on license plates and not have to worry about somebody trying to do something stupid to you. So I am going to be doing a video for you guys on winning my case with Sweet James. It's kind of a bittersweet experience with Sweet James because I won my case, but I didn't get the amount of money that I was expecting to get. And but it's still a victory for me because the lady denied that she intentionally cut me off on the bike lane while I was on my Segway GT1. And see, look, there's another person. They made a turn without using a turn signal. And this guy right here in front of me waited for that person to get through. And this is Pasadena. We're about to enter Alhambra. But yeah, getting back to the lawsuit thing, the lady denied that she did anything wrong. She said she had no recollection of causing any problems. And when my lawyers showed the video clip of the incident to her insurance company, which was Infinity, they ended up showing that video to her, and then she admitted fault. So I guess she thought she wasn't going to get caught. And it was thanks to my dash cam that I was able to get this case won. And the victory is her getting exactly what she deserved for cutting me off the road. Now there's going to be some people that are going to be upset about it, especially those that like drive cars. I drive a car too. I have a Class C license, and one of the requirements is to be vigilant for pedestrians and cyclists. And one of the rules for us drivers is to let the cyclists pass first if they're on the right lane, because they have a much slower and smaller vehicle than we do. We have a monster-sized vehicle that's thousands of pounds versus like under 100 pounds or under 200 pounds for an e-bike, etc. So if we hit them, it's our fault. Whether people like it or not, that's just how it is, man. Gotta be smart. But also us as PEV riders, we also have to keep our head on a swivel and follow the rules. Do not run red lights. Don't run stop signs. Do your best to follow the rules of the road. Like, look at that guy. Look, he's crossing the street. You see that? He's crossing the street and the light is green. You see that? That's something that even pedestrians are not supposed to do, that a cop can actually give a ticket for. This is, you know, stuff that really happens in this area. And we're in Alhambra. Like I mentioned before, Alhambra is danger zone for PEV riders. But so far we got 4 miles in on this ride, and we are going with the flow of traffic up to 39 miles an hour. So we're gonna see just how much range I get, especially going against the wind, because that's exactly what's happening right now. I'm still going against the wind. I feel it. Alright, so we made it to Atlantic Boulevard and Main Street. Got to see several people doing dumb stuff. So that's amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the clip here, go a little bit further down, and give you guys an update once I reach like the half point. I think that would be ideal to do, so this way this video won't be too long and you guys don't hear me just talking so much, etc. Alrighty guys, so here we go, man. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and we have made it to the 60% battery life mark on the app for InMotion. I got 3 bars now, 2 white ones and 1 red one, and we're riding at about 31 miles, give or take, so I definitely got to start turning around just to make sure that I don't get like stranded. That would really suck. So let me walk it here because that's what we're legally supposed to be doing. We got 14 miles in, literally almost 15, 14.9. Let me go ahead and do a screenshot so you guys can see the information, and I'll read it to you at the same time as you guys see it. So we've done 36 minutes right now on the ride time, 14.9 miles in on the ride. It says a max speed of 43.1, but we've only gone up to like 41 at the max, and then it slowed down to 39 and it stayed there. The drive board in the front, which is the central controller that's in the front, like on top of the one that's right here, okay, that one is at 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and we got the front motor at 192 degrees Fahrenheit and the rear motor at 196 Fahrenheit. And so far average speed has supposedly been about 24 miles an hour, give or take. So we're not really doing bad. We're doing pretty good. Now we're like at 59%. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk this so we can cross the street, and this way, you know, in case there's any law enforcement around the area, they won't get on my case for riding on the sidewalk, because realistically we're not supposed to be using these machines on the sidewalk at all. Even the slow commuters are supposed to be used on the right side of the road. And yeah, man, it's kind of risky in a way though, but I mean, it is what it is, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and start heading back now that I showed you guys the battery percentage and everything and temperature, and I'll let you guys know pretty much where we end up at. But so far I'm thinking 30 miles of range down to 10% battery life. Let's see if I'm correct. Alrighty, by the way guys, even though we're like at the 59 to 60% battery life, we're still doing about 39 miles per hour on the speedometer information. I'm not sure what the GPS might say, hopefully it's accurate, but that's what we're doing based on the display information. And again, like I mentioned before, the faster you ride a PEV, the less range you get. And what's really important here is not just your battery cells, but also your voltage for your top speed and your amp hours, basically for like the strength or torque that you can get out of your motors. And when you multiply voltage times, let's say amp hours, you get your watt hours, and the watt hours is what actually counts for range. So the more watt hours you can get out of a PEV for a battery, even for like, let's say 60 volts, 80 amps, you'll far exceed the range that you can get on something like this InMotion RS going the same speed limit. Why? Because you have more amp hours even though it's at a lower voltage. A lot of people don't seem to understand that that's how it works. So for example, I've been seeing some complaints about people only getting about 40 to 45 miles of range for a slim rider of like 160 pounds on the Onyx RCR ADV, but they're going in sport mode and they're also having overheating problems that Tim from Onyx is aware of now, and they're actually starting to work on a fix for that. So I'm kind of glad that I did not buy the Onyx RCR ADV yet, because this is going to allow me to wait a good while, wait for Onyx to fix all the issues with the RCR ADV, and then that will help a lot. And I like what these guys are doing. These guys have been cleaning the roads here to get rid of all of the debris, because you can see at the corners there's like granulated sand, and that can cause anybody on an e-bike or a scooter like the RS here to like slip and fall sideways and really injure themselves. And there's a lot of people that don't ride with any safety gear whatsoever. So I think it's really important to make sure that you're well prepared with some kind of safety gear. The safety gear is not going to prevent you from getting hurt, but it'll prevent the level that you would actually get being hurt. So for example, getting scrapes, bruising, it'll be less likely, or it'll be lighter than what it would have been if like you would have had zero safety gear on. So chances are that, like, let's say you fall on your right side and you fall on your elbow's not going to like come apart from the bone and come out of your flesh. Having something like like knee pads, shoulder pads, and all that stuff. But yeah, now we're making our way back. We are still, again, 39 miles an hour from what it says on the display. I'm not sure what the GPS might be saying, and that's if it's working. But we're doing pretty good right now. I feel confident that I'll make it all the way back home without having to walk this heavy ass scooter. So hopefully everything works out, and I'll give you guys an update once we get really close to my house, so this way we don't like waste too much time on footage, and then I have to like pick through it and delete a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's just a lot of work. Alrighty guys, I'll go ahead and cut the video here, and I'll update you guys once I'm closer to Highland Park. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and we have reached Atlantic Boulevard and Main Street. Let me take a screenshot for you guys real quick so we can take a look at the information here together. We got 59 minutes in on this ride, 25.2 miles in from what it says on the app, but 24 miles on the actual display. We got 2 battery bars, one red and one white, 31% battery life. Temperature for the drive board, which is technically the central controller, is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Front motor temperature, 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Rear motor temperature, the same exact 205 degrees Fahrenheit. And when the temperature of the controller reaches 235 degrees, the power to the motor cuts off. So you need to be careful when you're riding around on the streets and you're like moving, because the faster you go, the faster you can cause the sine wave controllers to overheat on you. So again, remember, on the RS, 235 degrees Fahrenheit will cut the power off, and you'll have to pull over to the side, let your scooter cool down significantly, at least 10 to 20 degrees, and then you can go ahead and power on the scooter and continue going. But the acceleration has indeed slowed down. It slowed down significantly, bringing it down to 31%. However, since I am in Alhambra, I'm only about 4 to 5 miles away from my house, so I should be, you know, doing pretty good on the way back home, and I should get at least the 30 miles that I was originally estimating. So with that said, my friends, I'm gonna go ahead and keep riding and keeping my head on the swivel here around these drivers, and I'll reach out to you guys once I get back home. Alrighty guys. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it back to the city of Highland Park. We're crossing the bridge, entering Highland Park, and we're doing about what looks like 37 to 38 miles an hour. We now have one battery bar, which is just red, and it says 19% on the app when it comes to its battery. So we've been doing pretty good. We got 28 miles in, so I am going to be pulling up to my house very soon, because I feel that 30 miles of range is going to be very accurate when it comes to riding the scooter. And on top of that, the acceleration, man, really slowed down significantly. So I'm trying to wait for all of these cars to pass by here. There we go. Because look, this right here, this is the acceleration right now. So it's not really going fast anymore, but it's still taking me to like the top speed of almost 39 miles an hour. So not bad so far for, you know, being a 288 pound rider, having the tire set to 50 psi. So it did really well in my personal opinion. Now I use this for work, man. So like I only do about, I'm gonna say 18 miles, give or take, you know, both ways. So it's not bad. And I do go into the lower 60s, and that's because I have to climb back up a really steep hill. But so far we got some good range here. We're now at 29, and it says 29.7 right now on the app, so not bad for what it is. So we technically made it back home. So I do think that I can get technically, I'm gonna say 30 miles for sure, not taking it below 10%. Let me go ahead and do a screenshot for you guys real quick. So we did 29 miles so far from what it says on the display. On the app it says 1.2 hours of riding time. It says 29.8 miles of riding distance on the app. Again, it's claiming 43.1 miles of max speed, but we didn't really go above 41 at the takeoff speed. So that's kind of weird that it's claiming 43. It's claiming a little bit more than what it actually did. And I trust the display's information of 29 miles over the app information. It kind of over exaggerates a little bit. We got a driver board temperature of 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the central controller. We got the front motor temperature at 203 degrees Fahrenheit. Rear motor degree temperature at 203 degrees Fahrenheit, so it stayed the same. Average speed of 25.6 miles, so it didn't do so bad. So if we go a little bit lower and we go under vehicle details, and we go under battery information, so it shows that we have 67 volts remaining, and we have 102 degrees Fahrenheit. So not bad here for this. So I think it did pretty good. So we technically can get like, I'm going to say like 32 miles of range out of this battery, taking it down to like 10% battery life. But the acceleration got like kind of what I would consider dangerously low, almost commuter type acceleration. So I would just be real careful with that. So this is going to be it, guys, for my video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button so that it can, you know, help the algorithm on the range test video. Not a lot of people do the range test videos I do. Everybody always gives you like the how fast can it go, but realistically riding with the flow of traffic, you know, and following directions and everything, hardly anyone does that on YouTube, especially the sponsored reviewers. So with that said, my friends, I will see you guys on the next video, man. Peace for now.